Hi everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and today we're going to talk about how to shift your energy. Sometimes when we've been doing a lot of internal work, we'll feel really bogged down. Sometimes you can feel emotional, sometimes you can just feel kind of heavy. You can feel especially in the mornings, if you've been clearing a lot in your sleep state, you can feel really, really heavy. Like you just don't feel like yourself. You might feel sad, you might feel obsessed. Sometimes we'll get some obsession energy going, and sometimes it's us trying to clear things, sometimes we're trying to shift. And there are times when we want to honor that. There are times that we want to kind of sit with the emotion and kind of let it work itself out. And there are times when we want to shift out of it. We can still clear it, but we don't have to set in it. And sometimes we feel like we have to set in it, like this has to be a big suffering journey. When we're trying to move to a different energetic space, we have to sit there and suffer through it. That's a myth. We do not have to do that. You do not have to set in it. You do not have to sit there and feel miserable. We can shift. So how do you shift? The whole point of this journey that we're all on is to just open your heart more. So we create certain situations in our life to open our heart. We create certain situations in the collective to open our heart. That's the whole point of a lot of things happening, is so our heart opens and we become more expansive, and then we can release a lot more. So when you're in that process of clearing, and you'll know when you're there because you'll feel it, you'll just feel heavy. Sometimes we just feel heavy for no reason. Sometimes we'll have a reason and we kind of know what triggered a clearing, but we want to just shift it. So sometimes there are different things you can do to shift. A lot of people will clean their house. Because when you clean outside, you clean up inside. It's kind of a symbolic gesture, and you'll find the more expansive you get, the more you clean up your house anyway. You get rid of a lot of clutter because your consciousness can't stand the clutter. It wants to expand and it can't. It feels constricted. So you'll find that sometimes cleaning the house will shift it. Dancing, getting outside, taking a walk, being around dogs, cats, pets, babies. Babies are a huge way to kind of shift your energy. I know that's what I use a lot. I have a baby in the neighborhood I'm really close to, and when I feel like I really need to shift, I'll go get the baby for a couple hours and we'll run around the neighborhood, and it just shifts my energy because they come from a really pure space. So you don't have to set in it, and that's probably the most important thing to remember. That we're going to be really hard on ourselves when we're doing this kind of work. Like it's all got to be perfect. We're really trying to get in touch with ourselves. Everything has to be a certain way, and I'll just set in this and it'll clear by itself. And eventually it will, but you don't have to. You don't have to be a victim to raising your consciousness. You don't have to be a victim to any of this. It's supposed to be a journey. So make the journey fun. Find ways to shift your energy. Another thing you can do to shift your energy, volunteering, feeling a lot of helping someone who's in a situation that what you might deem as worse than yours, even though that's kind of sort of, don't really believe in better or worse, but helping someone that would appear less fortunate than you are in some way, because it really makes you kind of shift your perspective on where you are and shift your perspective on what you're doing. So a lot of people will volunteer, and look at the energy. A lot of people volunteer because sometimes they'll do it from a different energy. It can be a lacking energy. They don't feel like they're worthy, so they want to overcompensate. So you want to check the energy of where you're coming from it. But when you do volunteer, it can also shift you, because it'll shift your energy to make you really grateful for where you are. And you'll see that other people chose different journeys that are not as beautiful on some level to look at it, even though they really are. But when you look at it from a certain perspective, they might not look. They're not as glitzy as other people's journeys that we chose. Okay, everybody, remember, we don't have to set in it. Shift the energy when it starts to feel heavy. Oh, one more. Don't put yourself in situations that make you feel heavy. Relationship situations that make you feel bogged down, that you know are really no longer aligned anymore, things that do not make you happy, don't set in those, because that's just going to make your vibration lower. Remember, we're trying to clear, we're trying to raise our vibration. We're clearing, we're trying to raise up. You keep putting yourself in situations that are keeping you in a certain vibration, making you miserable, you're just going to make you set on that energy longer. And eventually, the wall will come down and you'll have to clear it in ways that you might not want to. Okay, everybody. I wish everyone an amazing day and keep practicing the art of intuition.